Can you tell me who you are and what you do?
Yeah, you bet. So my name is James Swift. Obviously work in the mortgage business, but prior to working in this business, I served in the military for 20 years. And during that time, I met Travis when we were, our kids were young. We were coaching their sports together. And all during that time, Travis was my mortgage loan officer. And I'd always send all my friends to Travis. And then as I was getting ready to retire, trying to think about what I wanted to do in my next life, Travis got me interested in getting into this business with him. So that's what I did before. That's what I do now.
Yeah, Travis Newton. I've done loans for 24 years. I love it. I wouldn't do anything else. So it was great when James and I teamed up about 3.5 years ago, and would look back.
So obviously we're in the lending business. So we help, first-time home buyers, people who are buying vacation properties, second homes, just pretty much the gamut of lending on the residential side. So, kind of unpack it a little more from there.
Yeah. So we specialize in VA loans, right? We do a ton of those, but we really do a lot of first-time home buyers, a lot of government business. So USDA, FHA, VA loans is what we kind of specialize in. But we do everything, like James mentioned, and we are a team, so we do everything together. So we just do everything, team up on the loans, communicate the same, so everything's done together.
In what areas do you serve?
Well, I'm personally licensed in Oregon and Washington, we're here in the Willamette Valley, here in Oregon, of course. So, Marion County, Lynn County, maybe cities is the way to say it, but we serve just about everybody here in Oregon. We're not just, even though our office is here in Salem, we don't serve people just in the Salem area.
Now, as a company, our company can lend in 49 states, so everything but New York.
Awesome. That's great to know. How far ahead should buyers reach out to you to begin the home buying process?
Right now.
We've talked about that. We talked about that the other day. The only right answer to a question like that is now. Whether that means that you're looking to buy, that you have to move in 3 weeks, the answer is now. If you're looking to move in a year and you want to get all your ducks in a row, the answer is still now. Because there's things that we could find out on your credit report or a title report that we need to work on, and it may take us a couple months to get that figured out, right? So the answer is now.
Yeah, we've absolutely had borrowers who have come to us that have been preparing to buy a home for a year, and they believe that they've been doing all the right things. And then when we started working with them, then they realized that they still have a few more steps that they need to kind of get in order before they're ready to buy a home. And if we could have had that conversation a year ago, and we could have put them on that path to home ownership, so that they didn't know not just how much money do I need for a down payment, because that's what we hear a lot. Well, I'm saving for a down payment. Okay, but do you know what you need to do from like an income perspective? Do you make enough money to buy a home? Is your credit where it needs to be? So we look at holistically, so that they are working on all of the different avenues that it takes to be pre-approved to buy a home. And if you wait to reach out until you're ready to buy, you might have missed a piece of that puzzle, right?
Yeah, we have borrowers that reach out to us that say they're working with a different lender, and they were just told to get their credit up above this threshold, right? So they've done that, and now they come to us to help them. Well, that loan officer never should have given them false hope, because they didn't have the income to qualify. They didn't have the down payment to even make it work, right? So it's really important to get that whole picture, not just that credit aspect of it, right? You need to talk about assets, income, and credit.
Correct. So you're talking about a whole snapshot to make sure you have every duck in a row, so that they're 100% on level, ready to go get that dream home that they're asking about.
Yeah, you bet.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, can you explain the pre-approval process?
Yeah, it's different for everybody. So there are some basics to it, right? But every single person has their own nuances, I guess. So the pre-approval process obviously starts with checking credit, checking income, employment history. Anything else you would throw in there is kind of like the main first check. Yeah. And then we kind of build from there, right? And what are all of the contributing factors for an individual that comes into play to get pre-approved. Not everybody's walking in with an 800 credit score, low debts and a nice check every month, right? So we work with borrowers who have a lot of income and have low credit scores. We work with borrowers who have high credit scores and have low income, and then somewhere in the middle, right? So it really is an individual journey of what a pre-approval will look like. And that's why we emphasize that get started on that conversation today, so that you personally know, instead of just seeing like a checklist of what the minimum credit score that you need would be and what the average median income that a borrower might need to have in a certain area to buy. You need to really find out what that looks like for yourself.
Simply because they're FHA or VA, it's good, but it's better to know because it's not a one size fits all. I'm
glad you actually brought up some loan programs. There's a lot of a misnomer out there, I'll call it, where people think that if you got an FHA loan, it's because like you're low income and you have bad credit. That's not necessarily the case. We have some borrowers that have fantastic credit and maybe even fantastic income, and there's other contributing factors that make an FHA loan the right loan program for them. So that is one of I don't want to say rumor. Misconception. That's misconception, right? So when a borrower contacts us, we don't just pigeonhole them into a loan program. We look at all of the different loan programs that could be available to them and kind of go through the pros and cons of those with them.
Appreciate all the information, and it was great talking with you guys.
Likewise. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Hey, guys.
It was great.